We know sine theta is y over r. Cosine theta is x over r. R is the distance to the origin. So it's the root of x squared plus y squared. So sine squared theta plus cosine squared theta is y squared over r squared, plus x squared over r squared. It is x squared plus y squared, over r squared. This is 1. Sine theta is y over r. Cosine theta is x over r. Sine theta over cosine theta is y over x. It is equal to tangent theta. So we have the two identities. Sine squared theta plus cosines squared theta is 1. Tangent theta is sine theta over cosine theta. We can use the two identities to prove other identities. For example, prove sine squared x over 1 minus cosine x is 1 plus cosine x. We start with the left-hand side. We know sine squared x is 1 minus cosine squared x. We write, LHS equals 1 minus cosine squared x over 1 minus cosine x. 1 minus cosine squared x can be factorized into 1 plus cosine x times 1 minus cosine x. 1 minus cosine x on both sides can be cancelled. Therefore it is equal to the right-hand side, or RHS. Identities can be used to simplify expressions. For example, simplify 1 plus cosine x over sine x plus sine x over 1 plus cosine x. First, we add the fractions. The denominator becomes sine x times 1 plus cosine x. The numerator is 1 plus cosine x squared plus sine squared x. Open the brackets, the numerator becomes 1 plus 2 cosine x plus cosine squared x plus sine squared x. Cosine squared x plus sine squared x is 1. So the numerator is 2 plus 2 cosine x. Take out 2, we get 2 times 1 plus cosine x. The 2 1 plus cosine x can be cancelled. Therefore, it is 2 over sine x. Identities can be used to solve equations. For example, solve 3 sine x equals 5 cosine x for x between 0 and 2 pi. Change the equation to sine x over cosine x is 5 over 3. Sine x over cosine x is tangent x. So we need to solve tangent x is 5 over 3. Inverse tangent 5 over 3 is 1.03. So the two solutions are 1.03 and pi plus 1.03, which is 4.17. Solve 3 sine squared x minus 5 cosine x minus 1 is 0, for x between 0 and 360 degrees. We know sine squared x is 1 minus cosine squared x. Open the brackets, we get 3 cosine squared x plus 5 cosine x minus 2 is 0. This is a quadratic equation about cosine x. We can factorize it into 3 cosine x minus 1, times cosine x plus 2, equals 0. So cosine x is either 1/3, or minus 2. But cosine x is between minus 1 and 1. So only 1/3 is valid. Inverse cosine 1/3 is 70.5 degrees. Since x is between 0 and 360 degrees, x is 70.5, or 360 minus 70.5 degrees. In this class, we learned how to use the two identities, sine squared x plus cosine squared x equals 1, and tangent x is sine x over cosine x, to prove identities, simplify expressions, and solve equations.